Farida Musa. I am a homeschool mom of two. I am an adjunct community college professor here in California, and I'm also a part-time Waldorf high school teacher. And welcome to my page, Brings Joy Homeschool, where I make videos on how to homeschool, how to foster a love for learning in your kids, how to make education fun, and so much more. So if you think my videos will be helpful to you in your parental journey, then please make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of my videos. So today's video is very special because I am answering one of the most frequently asked questions on Instagram by most of my followers, which is, how do my girls sit at home and study? How do they concentrate? How do they get their schoolwork done? So today's video is me sharing 9 tips and tricks that will help your kids to focus better, concentrate better, and have a great attention span. But before I dive into those tricks, I want to mention 2 very important things that each parent needs to be aware of. One being that homeschool kids, they know, like my daughters are very well aware that their parents are their primary teachers and that they're going to get education at home. So they know that they're not getting it outside through someone else, but at home. So they sit with us and they study. Whereas parents who send their kids to school, children who go to school, know that they have a teacher at school. So most of the children at home find home as a place to relax and play. And so parents who think that my kids don't sit, don't listen, you're not alone. It's okay. Your kids know that, oh, they're getting their schooling done at school, and when they come home, it's time to just have fun, play games, talk with their parents, read books. So you're not alone when you all think that my kids don't sit at home and they do not sit in one place to study. So that's something I wanted to mention. Another thing is, depending on the age, your child's concentration levels will vary. So my 2.5-year-old daughter, she could barely sit for 5 to 10 minutes with me to study, and then she runs away. And then my 5-year-old daughter, she can sit for 45 minutes in a go, and she could do her work without getting distracted. So you need to be mindful about the child's age, and that'll decide the concentration time or the time that a child can really sit and do their work without getting distracted. So let's now dive into my 9 tips and tricks that have helped me, and it comes from my experience of being an educator, being a professor for 9 years, and being a homeschool mom for the past 2 years. So here are my tips. Tip number 1, sleep. Children need at least 9 to 10 hours of sleep, and if they're well rested, they get that many hours of sleep daily, then their concentration levels are so much better. My girls go to sleep every day by around 8:30, and they wake up by 7:30, so they have enough sleep, and that really helps them stay more focused when we're studying, stay more focused, less sleepy during the entire day. My little one, my 2.5-year-old, still naps. That's when I get most of my work done. She's napping right now. So yes, sleep, getting those 9 to 10 hours of sleep is so important. Tip number 2, good nutrition and drinking plenty of water. In my house, you will not find any junk food. My kids are never snacking on cookies or candies. There's no ice cream at my house. I don't keep any processed food at home. Food at my house is always just breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if they want a snack, they'll have milk, or they'll have some yogurt or some cheese. So that's really helped my kids stay more calmer and focus better and not get really hyperactive. So that's helped me. And I really think that avoiding all that junk food and all that candy that could give your kids a sugar rush and get very hyperactive and not sit in one place to do their work. Yes, so that is tip number 2, avoiding sugar, avoiding processed food, and avoiding junk food in your house. I don't keep it because if it's there, then they will get tempted to have it, and they know that it's there. So best is what works for me is I do not keep such food. If there's a celebration, there's a special event, yes, we do eat that, we do indulge in it, but it's not, definitely not on a regular basis. Also, drinking plenty of water. I make sure that when I'm schooling my girls or wherever my girls are, I put their little water bottle wherever they are, so that it's there in front of their eyes, and it reminds them to drink water, because like out of sight, out of mind, right? Even we forget to take water if you do not see a water bottle in front of us. So that works for me too. Just keeping a water bottle in front of my eyes wherever I am, or wherever my kids are, helps them drink more water. So that's something that works for me. That's a trick that works for me, and that keeps my kids very much hydrated. They get that optimal water that their body needs, because research has shown that even if there's 1% decrease in the amount of water that your body needs, that will affect your focus levels and your attention span. Tip number 3, limiting screen time. And I've always spoken about this on my Instagram handle. We give our girls very, very, very limited screen time. I would say around 10 to 15 minutes a day. That's it. That is when they watch a little bit of Khan Academy. We alternate between Khan Academy Kids and Mystery Science. That's all. We do not have a Netflix subscription. We do not watch any shows at home. My daughters aren't in watching any cartoons. And that, according to me, really helps their concentration level. They're not addicted to any kind of screen. If you're studying about a topic of interest, we will watch a documentary. They'll watch some videos that'll help them understand a topic better, educational videos. But we make sure that that screen time that they get is very, very limited. I see kids with a lot of phones these days, and I know it's what works for each parent, but this is what has helped us. It keeps, and it's been studies have shown that kids that watch little to minimal or no screen have been able to concentrate and focus much better in academics and get so much better grades. So yes, limiting screen time. And there's a solution. Let your kids do something that they love. So my girls love to color and love to paint. So whenever there's some free time, they always sit with their colors, or I sit with them and draw with them. So they enjoy that, being by themselves, getting that, like right now my daughter's having a quiet time. She's either reading a book or she's coloring. So that's something they love to do. So you could get them their favorite books or their colors, or print some sheets out, draw something and let them color, or just let them observe nature and have them color, paint, if that's something that your kids. So it's important to know what your kids like to do, and that way you can distract them from the screen. Tip number 4 is spending more time outdoor. Going for walks, going for a hike, or exercising, or sending your kids for soccer, swim class, gymnastics. My daughter does soccer. We do hikes every other day. We are always going for a walk outside our house. So that really helps them build their attention spans and concentrate better. Tip number 5. So when your kids sit to do homework, create an environment where there's less distraction. So there's no TV around, or there's no favorite game that's lying around, so that they'll get distracted to play it. Make sure they have this table aside. It could be it could be a dining space, or it could be an area where there's minimal to no distraction, where they know they just have to sit here, focus, and get their work done. So creating an environment with less distraction really helps them focus better and get their work done. Number 6 is taking lots of breaks when you're teaching them. So as a homeschool parent, when we're doing math, math is not done in a stretch. We're taking those small breaks to have a snack, or probably go take a quick run in the living room, or just jump a little bit. So we're taking those 10, like I'd say, breaks in intervals of 10 minutes, so that they don't get bored of the subject, and they're more fresh to learn. So taking those little breaks really helps. I know sometimes you just want to finish it in one go, but me taking smaller breaks and make teaching them in shorter periods will really help them concentrate and do so much better. So tip number 7 is playing a lot of board games, playing games with your children, or sometimes my girls are playing by themselves. Simple games like Shoots and Ladders and Candyland. These are games that they can play by themselves too. Spot It is a great game where that can keep them busy, and they learn to concentrate and focus, and because they want to win and they do not want to get distracted in order to not win a game. So yes, that game, and then there's this other favorite game that we have, which is I Found It, and we like to play it as a family. There's no winner or loser in that game, so that's really nice too. They love to play such games. So yes, playing games. We also play a lot of Legos. We play puzzles. Those kind of games really help them build their attention span. Really encourages them to stay focused. Tip number 8 is being aware of what kind of learner your child is. Do they learn well when they listen? Are they auditory learners? Do they learn well when they see something, they see pictures? Do they remember the pictures? Do they remember page numbers? Then they are visual learners. Or do they learn well when they do hands-on activities, which means they are kinesthetic learners. So when you know that, you could make your activities, you could tailor it according to the way they learn best. So say there's a topic taught at school or in your home school where you want to teach it really in detail. So if your child learns well kinesthetically, then you would plan hands-on activities, or you would, if they learn well when they listen, you would plan on listening to various podcasts or listening to various audiobooks. So that's very important, knowing and being aware of what kind of learner your child is. So the last tip number 9, is making education fun, making learning fun with a nice sense of humor in the house. So say they're doing something else and you want their attention, you want to grab their attention, and you're like, hey, we're going to study this, we're going to play this game, or you're not listening to me. If you're calling them for a bath and they're so busy, they're not paying attention, and you keep calling them. So in my house, we just add a pinch of humor. I'd say, looks like my daughter doesn't want to have bath, I'll have to have bath on her behalf. So, and that's something she wouldn't want. She's like, no, I'm coming. They'll just immediately respond. So just having more sense, having that sense of humor going in the house, laughing with them, making learning fun. So if you were to ask my daughter, what's your favorite subject? She'll say math. That's because math is one subject that is just so hands-on in my house. We use the curriculum that we love. It's from The Good and the Beautiful. I will link their website in the description box. So tip number 9 is, yes, having fun when you're teaching them, making it hands-on, adding a sense of humor in your conversations. They will listen to you. They will pay attention. So now let's quickly do a recap of all the 9 tips and tricks that work for me and that I shared with you guys. Tip number 1, getting a good amount of sleep. Your kids need at least 9 to 10 hours of sleep daily. Tip number 2, good nutrition, drinking plenty of water, avoiding junk, processed food. Tip number 3, limited screen time. Okay, get them distracted by doing something that they love. It could be building Legos, coloring, writing in a journal, whatever they love other than watching screen. Tip number 4, spending more time outdoor and going for walks really helps build attention span and helps them focus better in their studies. Tip number 5, reducing distractions, keep creating an environment where they could focus. Tip number 6 is taking short breaks when you're teaching them. Do not do it in a stretch. Tip number 8 is knowing what kind of learner your child is, kinesthetic, visual or auditory. And the last one, adding a sense of humor in education, making it fun for them, playing games. So those were my 9 tips and tricks that help my girls focus better and could help your children too. I hope these help you. Let me know if there's something else that you would want me to make videos about. Put them in the comments. Also, please, if this is something that is going to help you, you don't want to miss my videos, please hit the subscribe button. That will really help my channel grow and encourage me to make more such videos. Until then, bye bye.